everything was adding up to be a recipe for disaster.
I knew I was right.
It's blowing pretty hard today. It's definitely over 30 miles an hour.
Things started building up and not going good. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Sailing GBU. It's another week and we got more sailing to do. We are sailing to the southeast side of St. John?
Southeast corner of St. John, yep. Still the national park over there by Coral Bay. There's a bunch of little bays, but the big one's Coral Bay. So I just keep saying it's Coral Bay, and that's where we're headed.
So we're going over there today, and we're bringing you with, and we're going to show you some of the extra stuff that we do to prepare our boat to go sailing, and during sailing, different things that happen. So today you're part of the crew. Let's get right into it. We already got a late start, all because of you. So let's get going. Alright, so as Matt the captain, make sure he has the correct sail plan together and where we're going to anchor. I hurry up and try to get the boat ready, so this is what we normally do. Luckily right now the dishes are clean, so we just put these in our cool cabinet that we made. And then we slide this in, and then underneath or above our fridge, we just put this thing in, so we don't want our coffee to fly around. This just keeps and makes sure nothing can slide around here.
One thing we have to do is we got to get these things lower. We can put this in the cabinet, but I like to just put it on the floor. It never falls over. It has rubber feet on the floor. But if it were up here, I do think it would fly off. So the ice maker has to get taken care of. Next thing we have to do is batten down our refrigerator. It has this cool key that locks the two doors, and then I have a strap where I strap it down. Alright, so see, now my doors are shut, so now I get my strap out. The strap is always there, rip-roaring, ready to go. Even though I don't think she'd ever fly out of there anyway, we still strap her in. And there she goes, now she's strapped in.
Alright, next we got to turn the water off to our toilet, because sometimes when we sail and we go heeling, all of a sudden your toilet fills up and the last thing you want is water all over. So just come down here. I have a convenient absorbent rug to hide the cutout of our flooring. And then I just turn this handle here. And ta-da! And luckily you guys put everything away, like soap dispensers and things like that, so they're not gonna fly around. So great job, guys! We're getting there. One positive of having a very minimalist boat is less things to put away and figure out where they go when we have to go sailing. So we love our new boat. We don't have a ton of things. Those few things that you saw are pretty much everything that we have to put away. Now I got the headsets. Let's get outside. So a lot of people have been asking where we got our headsets from. They're Hollyland Solidcom ones. I do have a link for them on my Amazon storefront in the description, so check them out. There's different sizes for how much crew you have. You could get 2 or 4, so they're awesome though. So let's get to work. And now it's probably time to take your seasick medicine if you get easily seasick. All right, so what's the plan?
The plan is at first I gotta get my state-of-the-art navigation system in place. Okay, so first we're gonna put our headsets on. I'm gonna get ready. You're gonna go up there. You're gonna unleash us. I'll have the motor running, so if you need me to gas up on that mooring ball, let me know. I'm gonna motor out slowly, let a little bit of head sail out. It's blowing pretty hard today. It's definitely over 30 miles an hour. So we're gonna try to do it with as little canvas as we can. Use our motor, use our sail, get away from all these other boats, and then we'll start sailing completely.
All right, you heard it here, folks. It's a windy day. Time to get our headsets on.
We thought we could trust you. We invited you on our boat to help us crew and help us film our videos, and one of you guys forgot to charge the dang GoPro, and it must have cut out while Kristen was going up there to pull the mooring line loose. Just kidding, guys. The GoPro 10 has a lot of bugs. It kind of stinks. It cuts in and out randomly, so that's another hurdle that you go through when you're a sailing YouTube vlogger. But if you guys know any better action cams, please let me know in the comments below, because I'm desperately in the market for one.
Now that we're out away from the boat, it's time to get that head sail out. You pull the jib sheet, I'll let it out, I'll let the furling line out, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Start pulling.
Keep pulling it?
Yeah, take it all the way in tight. Yep, that's good. Dang, we just put our sail out, and how bad was our timing? We're about to get waked out by this ferry. Wow! Oh God!
It's not that bad.
No, he took care of us. He kind of putted it out. So we're getting out here into this little valley here, so we're starting to get the wind filled in. I'm about to engage my autopilot so that I don't have to steer. And basically this autopilot's a wheel steering autopilot. It's pretty simple. It's a clutch. I think it's called a clutch. This has a little button that you pop in, and then you engage the hold heading lever, and you have a rudder control and a deadband control. My understanding is that the rudder control goes from 1 to 10, and the lower it is, it's the more frequent moves that it makes, and for the deadband, the higher it is or the lower it is means it moves less. So if you have a higher deadband, the wheel turns a whole lot, and the rudder, if you turn it way up, it'll let you get more off course. I haven't exactly figured out what that's good for yet. If you know, let me know, you salty dogs. I'll teach it to my crew, and then I'll get better at autopiloting.
Turn around and turn back. The situation, things started building up and not going good. Some kind of nut broke off of our dinghy motor, so we had to put a clamp onto our dinghy motor before we left, and we didn't think that there was going to be this much waves. So the conditions aren't very good, and we realized that on the south side, if it's this wavy coming around here, then the anchorages are probably going to be bad also. So hopefully not too much water's in our dinghy. We're turning back, and this is what happens sometimes. Not everything goes to plan. Fields, all of them look pretty rolly. It's just not great conditions today. I don't know what we were thinking. I guess we were thinking maybe it wasn't that bad. Alright guys, so got that mooring bowl. I've really gotten better and I'm really proud of myself, so I can do it now with people even watching me. I don't even get nervous, so I'm growing up in life. Alright guys, so the next day we're back at Hawk's Nest K. Is that what it is, or Bay? Bay. Yesterday, everything was adding up to be a recipe for disaster. The ingredients were flying, and we were about to see disaster pie.
Yep, you got to know when to call it. And I thought that our dinghy could have limped out without that bolt. I just put that clamps on it to hold it on there, and I was like, it was pretty smooth when we went on the north side of the island, so on the south side it might be as smooth. I was anticipating it to be much smoother, but going around the bottom with the way the currents were working against the swell, and there was a good 4 to 6 foot swell in the bottom there. It was a little bit like a bar down there, and it was just rough. Tons of ferries. I just timed the ferries poorly, I guess, to be in between every single one of them. So I had to keep changing my sail plan. I had to let the little bit of the jib sheet that I had out, and the jib started ripping around and ripped at my lifelines and broke those. And at that point I was like, this is just going to be too rough. I feel like on the dinghy for this
we could lose the engine, and we didn't want the outboard.
Yeah, it's going to be too rough on the dinghy outboard, and something's going to go wrong, and the whole thing's going to fall off, and then I'm going to be in big trouble. So I decided to turn back. I looked at the weather. It's not going to get any better, and so we're going to take a couple days to lick our wounds and catch back up. I was not on my maintenance of checking everything before we sailed. Completely back and forth. I checked at the last second and thought I could fudge it, and once I got really into it, I didn't think that was the right move anymore. A lot of you guys might be wondering why I even had to get nuts and bolts for my dinghy motor, and it's because of these. My old twist-on bangers, they snapped off in the Bahamas, so ever since that day about 4 years ago... Bad news. All that bragging I do on Mercury's all the time, today my whole bolts broke off that holds the motor on. These snapped off and I almost lost the whole engine, but luckily I was able to save it, manhandle it in there. We got to the hardware store in Georgetown, Bahamas. They had a couple of these bolts, and these are still the original bolts. They've lasted 4 years, so these things are pretty tough. But as we were riding over these waves, trying to go surfing, a little bit of vibration happened and the nut worked itself off. So I just had this nut sticking through, and the engine was just resting on the outboard transom, and the nut was just holding it on there. So nothing was actually mechanically vicing it together. So I just took my handy dandy vice grips, vice gripped it on there, and I was like, oh, that'll be fine. It'll stay on. It still has one bolt on it. So I thought that would work, but turns out when the S was really hitting the fan, I was like, I don't think that little clamp's going to hold my entire engine on, and I decided to come around and get the right fix for it.
Watched our refit series, this book, this manual might look familiar. Today we're doing something that I think is going to be fast, it's going to be easy, and it's going to be like no tomorrow. We are changing our gear fluid, gear oil, and our gearbox, I think is what it's called. I don't know much about the engine, but I do know the parts when I open this manual. This is a perfect instructions, and I know that I could do this by myself. Me and Matt had an argument. He said this is going to take an hour, pulling everything out of the closet. And I said, no, this is going to take 15 minutes. So here we go. We're going into checking the gearbox oil level and then draining it at the bottom and then filling it back up. So let's do this.
How about that manual, though? Beta Marine does it right.
Yeah, pictures.
Not only do they build great engines, easy to install,
They also make awesome installation manuals. Not paid. I'm not getting paid for this. I just think every boat should have a beta. So y'all might think this is funny while Kristen was talking all that trash about how this was not going to take much time. And me being the feminist that I am, I said, well, women can do anything a man can do. I said, so why don't you knock that out in 10 minutes? I think that would be incredible. You know what she said? She said, I would, and you know I could. But I slept on my back wrong last night, and my back be hurting a little bit, so you're going to have to at least take everything out for me, at least.
The scooters are heavy if I have to pull them out, and I did hurt my back working out, not sleeping. Look at you, a big, strong man.
Strong. It's the sheer strength, the speed, the precision, the integrity. Alright, so the first thing we gotta do now that I'm in here, Kristen reminded me reading the directions that we do have to run it to warm up the oil a little bit. Since I'm already
10 minutes. Oh no, that means it's already past my time that I said we could do it in.
I knew I was right.
What the heck are you doing?
I'm just using this jug to make like an oil drain pan, I guess is what it's called. Alright, now that I got my ghetto gangster oil drain pan that my grandpappy taught me how to make when we was eating frog legs on the Mississippi Bayou.
What
Now
the heck are you talking about?
I'm just telling stories about my life. So I'm going to put that under there and hopefully it'll keep us from the spillsies. Alright, so while that's draining, the boat's rocking side to side. So when it rocks this way, a little more comes out, and when it rocks that way, it stops coming out completely. So I'm going to let it rock for 5 or 10 minutes. I'm going to take this paper plate, an ordinary paper plate, and I'm going to transform that into a paper funnel so that I can easily put my new stuff back in. Red. Alright guys, so we got that wrapped up, got that all done, and you're never going to believe it, but I was actually right. It took 11 minutes to do it, so she thought she could get it.
What are you talking about? It did not take 11 minutes.
Probably,
it took a long time.
Yeah, it took a long time, but we thought we were going to get her done in 10 minutes, but it ended up taking a little bit longer. But at the end of the day, it's all said and done. I'm happy. My PRM 90 gear is going to be purring like a kitten for years to come. And we got about 20 more hours to that first oil change. And then, you know, it'll ping pong back and forth nonstop until, you know, we're 100 years old and we got all the good life out of that engine.
Alright guys, so luckily we got our engine all prepped. We did a couple other jobs a couple days after that, and we were just thinking back about what happened this week on that sail. And on the camera, I looked at the footage. The way there just didn't look like there's that much waves. It's hard to capture waves on a camera, but I think we were just getting a little crazy this week. Sometimes unfortunately, since we do YouTube, you know, we have to get a new video up every week, and we're not ahead on our schedule. I know a lot of people are like other cool YouTubers, like professionals. We don't count ourselves as professionals. They're like ahead by weeks, and I feel like, my opinion, I don't know about your opinion, I think maybe we pushed it when the weather conditions weren't that great just to get another video, and I want to stop doing that because it's not a good idea. We're going to end up breaking our boat, and it's not, what would you call it?
It's not ideal. It's just, you know, there's a lot of moving parts. We never did get ahead. We tried last year and we failed. We opted, instead of just making videos and getting them done, to try to make really good ones. So when we beat like that 20-minute mark, we were like, oh, it's a little flat. Let's try to have a little more fun, because we respect the people that watch. You know, you guys take time out of your week every week to join us on our little adventure. So I really don't want to just be lather, rinse, repeating, motor sailing to the next bar, going to it, here's a girl swimming, and that's the end of the video. I don't want to get into this making...
Who's the girl?
Just any old girl like you know? Any old thing.
I was about to say, wait, who's this girl you're filming?
Any old thing. I'm just saying, I watch YouTube, and there's a lot of ones that are very formulaic. Those I don't think are very inspiring. I don't like doing those. I don't like watching them, so I hate to do them. So we always try to make it a little bit cooler, and we've been making like 30+ minute videos for a long time now. So we might scale it back to 20-ish.
Yeah, I think we're going to scale it back so we can... There's just a fine line between how good a video can be if you have that due date every week to get a video up. If you want to get one up every week and you can't, we can never get ahead.
Yeah, and traveling to other countries.
We're just only 2 people.
Yeah, we don't know even if we'll have enough Wi-Fi at the next spot. So then you end up staying a week to get your video uploaded, when you know you have Wi-Fi over here and you're just looking at another place.
Yeah, there's a lot of behind the scenes
and you're like, I can't really go because then I'm going to upload Sunday. I like to comment back to people and talk to people in the comments that are watching and have questions. So it's like, oh, if we go somewhere we don't have any you know, Wi-Fi, we won't be able to go back and forth. So this way it'll ease the burden of that a little bit, which bear with us. If you hate the 20-minute videos, just say, God, I hate the 20-minute videos. Just say, you know, maybe I love the 20-minute videos. But we're just letting you know so you can brace yourself for the changes.
So we're just trying to make some changes so we can live our life a little bit better and still hopefully make decent videos. So let us know what you think in the comments. I hope you liked this video, and get ready. If you're new, hit subscribe, because we're going off to the BVI next, and we're actually going to be sending off probably today. So
yeah, I got my USVI hat that I'm not even going to be able to wear anymore. Wait, it doesn't say USVI, it just says VI. So I can wear this in the Bevis.
I don't know. That could be the USVI flag. I don't know.
Dang it, it does have an eagle on it.
But make sure you check out our t-shirts on Teespring. We have a link down below for those. We have the Boatyard Pirates, and we also have Matt's famous Dead Dolphin tee.
Double D.
We are heading off to the BVI, so it should be exciting next episode, and we'll see you guys next week. Anything you got to say?
Yeah, don't be shy. If the new videos suck when they're 20 minutes, say, hey, bro, these new 20-minute videos just ain't cutting it. Bump it back up, boys.
No, don't put the pressure on us.
You can, it's okay.
Just tell us you love them no matter what, and just keep coming back, please. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.